Good morning and good Shabbos to everyone. This beautiful Shabbos morning. As we continue offering our virtual services via YouTube, a couple of different things to be aware of for anybody that's joining us for the first time. First of all, if you want to follow along in our prayer book, that's posted on our YouTube page, Temple Shir Shalom, under the resources section. So you can pull up the prayer book there, or you can just listen and follow along. Traditionally, there's times when we'll ask if you want to stand, that you can stand and be seated. But as we're doing this from the comfort of your own home, do what's right, what's comfortable for you. First, we take a moment, as we always do, to turn to the people around us on YouTube, on Facebook, whatever you're watching on right now, and to let us know that you're here and wish each other a Shabbat Shalom.
Elohai, Elohai, Neshama, Shanatata bi Tehorai, Ata Barata, Ata Yitzarta, Ata Nefachta bi, Ata Meshamra, Mishmara Bekirbi. Elohai, Elohai, Neshama, Shenatata bi Tehorai. Elohai, Elohai, Neshama, Shenatata bi Tehorai.
For those that are wearing a talit this morning, we join together in the blessing. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kichanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu litatef bat tzitzit. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who houses with commandments and commands us to wear the garment of our responsibilities. And we continue on page 59 of our prayer books, 58 and 59 of our prayer books, as we join together in Nisim B'chol Yom, the blessings for everyday life. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan l'sechli vina, l'havin ben yom uvein laila. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who has given the mind the ability to distinguish between day and night.
We praise you, eternal God, who has made me according to your will.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who opens the eyes of the blind.
We praise you, eternal God, who clothes the naked.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who frees the captive.
We praise you, eternal God, who lifts up the fallen.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who strengthens our steps.
We praise you, eternal God, who has provided for all my needs.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who made me in the image of God.
We praise you, eternal God, who has made me free.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who girds Israel with strength.
We praise you, eternal God, who crowns Israel with splendor.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who gives strength to the weary.
We praise you, eternal God, who removes sleep from the eyes, slumber from the eyelids.
We rise together on page 65 for our call to worship.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach leolam vaed.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, yotzer or uvarei choshech, oseh shalom uvarei et hakol, hameir la'aretz v'ladarim aleha barachamim, uvtuvo mechadesh b'chol yom, tamid ma'aseh v'reishit. Praise be the eternal our God, ruler of the world, who makes light to shine and darkness to descend upon us. God has taught us the meaning of peace and shapes all things that we touch. With compassion, God gives the earth light and renews the work of creation day by day. Ma Rabu Ma'asecha Adonai, Kulam B'chochma Asita, Ma'a Haaretz Kinyanecha, Titbarach Adonai Eloheinu al Shevach Ma'aseh Yadecha, V'al Me'orei Or She'asita Yefa'arucha Selah, Or Chadash al Tzion Ta'ir, V'nizkei Chulanu Mehera Le'oro, Baruch Atah Adonai, Yotzer HaMe'orot. How great are your works, O God, in wisdom you make them all. The earth is filled with your creations.
For the glow of the stars and the work of your hands, let all of your creations give you praise. Shine a new light upon Zion, that we may swiftly merit its radiance. Blessed be the eternal maker of the morning light.
Great is your love for us and abiding your compassion. Our ancestors trusted in you when you taught them how to value life. Be gracious now to us, and with kindness, guide us with your understanding, so that we might both learn and teach the laws of truth. Baruch atah Adonai habocher ba'amo Yisrael be'ahava. Blessed is our God, who in love has chosen Israel to be a people.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
These enduring words have been a lamp unto our feet and a light unto our path.
Faith and choice bring understanding to the soul and sensitivity to the heart.
In all times and places, our God has been a part of our lives.
Our faith has been our rock and our help.
We watched God's wonders when we went free from Egypt.
When slavery's chains were broken, we witnessed it.
May those who have the faith to believe also have the wisdom to be kind.
O God, in whom we have all hope, we glorify your name now as our people have praised you throughout history. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוספת. שירה חדשה שבחוג גאולים לשמך, אספות הים יחד כולם הודו והמליכו ויאמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, צור ישראל, קומה בעזרת ישראל, ובדרך נאמך יהודה וישראל, גואלנו אדוני צבאות שמו, קדוש ישראל. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף
And in preparation for the Amidah, we rise together and take a moment for our own private meditations, either following the words of our hearts or those on our prayer books, in our prayer books on page 70.
לרצון אמרתי, והגיון ליבי לפניך, אדוני צורי וגואלי, אדוני צורי וגואלי. אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. Eternal God, open up my lips, let my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu ve'imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei HaKol, Zocher Chasei Avot v'Imahot, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, בחיי הכל אתה רב לפושיע, מוריד הטל, מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישוע, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל.
Eternal is your power, O God. You are mighty to save. You rain dew upon us. In love, you sustain the living. In the multitude of your mercies, you preserve all. You uphold the falling and heal the sick, free the captives, and keep faith with your children in death as in life. Who is like you? Who is your equal? Author of life and death, the source of salvation. Blessed is the eternal God, the source of life. We sanctify your name on earth, even as your holiness is proclaimed in the heavens above and throughout time and space. In the words of the prophet Isaiah, we say, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The fullness of the whole earth is God's glory.
Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzebaot, Melech ol haaretz, Kevodo, Baruch Kavod Adonai, Mimekomo, Yimloch Adonai leolam, Elohai Zion, Ledor vador, Hallelujah.
To all generations, we will make known your greatness, and to all eternity proclaim your holiness. Your praise, O God, shall never depart from our lips. Blessed is Adonai, the holy God. Please be seated. Our God and God of our ancestors, accept our rest as a sacrifice of time and space. Let us share in your world by celebrating creation day by day. Purify our hearts so that we might be honest and upright, forgiving and compassionate. Blessed are you, O God of truth, who helps us to make the Sabbath a part of our life and our heritage of joy. Look with favor, O God, upon your people Israel and receive our prayers with love. May it be your will to accept our worship and our deeds. Blessed are you who alone we serve in reverence. Modim anachnu lach, eternal source of good, we thank you for the numberless gifts of blessings that fill our days, for life itself and its endless variety, for all that sustains body and mind, for love and friendship, for the delights of the senses and the excellence of your Torah, which deepens our life and enriches our days. Help us, O God, to work for a just and compassionate society, where all may share your gifts in the joy of freedom. For all of this, your name shall be blessed and praised forever.
Yismechu b'malachutcha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, v'korei oneg Shabbat. Yismechu b'malachutcha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, v'korei oneg Shabbat. Mekadeshei Shvi Shabbat, Kulam Yispehu V'yitagadu V'cha Shabbat. Yismechu b'malchutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, V'korei oneg Shabbat. Yismechu b'malchutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, v'korei oneg Shabbat. Zecher l'maaseh b'reshit Shabbat. Zecher l'maaseh b'reshit Shabbat. Yismechu b'malchutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, v'korei oneg Shabbat. Yismechu b'malchutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, v'korei oneg Shabbat.
Together on page 77, we read our prayers for peace. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country that it may always be a stronghold of peace and its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within its borders, health and happiness within its homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship among the inhabitants of all lands, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Blessed is the eternal God, the source of peace.
Sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, tova uveracha. sim, sim, shalom, sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, tova uveracha. Ya la 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 ya la la. Ya la 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 ya la la. Ya la 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 ya la la. Ya la 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 ya la la. Oh, sim, 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 shalom, sim, sim. Sim, shalom, sim, 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 shalom, tova, uveracha.
We continue with the service for the reading of Torah, which can be found on page 79 in your prayer books. And it shall come to pass in the fullness of time that the mountain of the Eternal's house shall be established as the highest mountain and raised above the hills, and all nations shall flow to it. And many peoples shall come and say, Come, let us go up to the mountain of the Eternal, to the house of the God of Jacob. There we may be taught the ways of our God and walk in the path of the Almighty.
Ein kamocha Elohim Adonai ve'ein kamasecha malchutecha malchut kol olamim וממשלתך לכל דור ודור. אדוני מלך, אדוני מלך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד, אחד אלוהינו, גדול אדוננו, קדוש שמו. כי מציון תצא תורה, ודבר אדוני מירושלים. כי מציון תצא תורה, ודבר אדוני מירושלים. ברוך שנתן תורה לעמו, תורה לעמו ישראל. ברוך שנתן תורה לעמו ישראל בקדושתו. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם, העולם עומד.
Our Torah portion this Shabbat is Naso. For those who were with us last week, you may remember we read or chanted Naso as well. But because it is the traditional calendar would have seen Shabbat last week as Shavuos, we split Naso in the Reform tradition into two parshiot, and so we read the back half of it as well now. And so Cantor will be chanting chapter 7, those first verses there, and I'll show that to you on the screen in a moment. But if you'd like to join with us for the blessing for Torah, it is found on page 82 of our prayer books as we join together. Baruch Hu Adonai Hamvorach. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Ba'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Notein HaTorah.
Amen. Vayehi beyom alot Moshe וימשך אותו, ויקדש אותו, ואת כל כליו, ואת המזבח, ואת כל כליו, וימשכם, ויקדש אותם.
On the day that Moses finished setting up the tabernacle, he anointed and consecrated it and all its furnishings, as well as the altar and its utensils. When he had anointed and consecrated them, then
ויקריבו נשיאי ישראל, ראשי בית אבותם, הם נשיאי המטות, הם העומדים על הפקודים.
Then the chieftains of Israel, the heads of the ancestral houses, namely the chieftains of the tribes, those who were in charge of enrollment, drew near.
ויביאו את קורבנם לפני אדוני, 6 עגלות צב ו12 בקר עגלה, על שני הנשיאים לשור לחד, ויקריבו אותם לפני המשכן.
They drew near and they brought their offering before the Lord. 6 draught carts and 12 oxen, a cart for every 2 chieftains and an ox for each one. When they had brought them before the tabernacle,
ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור,
then the Lord,
קח מאיתם והיו לעבוד את עבודה המועד, ונתת אותם אל רבים איש כפי עבודתם.
then the Lord spoke to Moses and said, accept these from them for use in the service of the tent of meeting, and give them to the Levites according to their respective services.
ויהי המקריב ביום הראשון את קורבנו, נחשון בן עמינדב למטה יהודה.
The one who presented his offering on the first day was Nachshon, son of Aminadav of the tribe of Judah.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת, וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen. I wanted to jump to that last verse there, to the verse of Nachshon, who is the first to finally bring an offering up in the tabernacle. As Cantor chanted and Rabbi translated there, we have this establishment of the setting up of the tabernacle. All the things are brought together. It's ready for it. And the very first offering now is to be brought forward. And this man, Nachshon, whose name, Nachash, comes from the root word of a snake, is asked to bring the first offering. And the rabbis asked, why Nachshon? Who is he? We know nothing of this man in Torah, no mention of him in other places. And so why is he? And they tell us a story of Nachshon, that earlier in the story of our Exodus, of the liberation from Egyptian slavery, when our ancestors were at the Sea of Reeds and Moses lifted up his staff and his arms to split the sea, or to happen whatever was going to happen, the people didn't know, nothing happened. The people were all concerned. The Egyptians are coming back at them and they're trapped. And he lifted his arms up and nothing happened. But the rabbis tell us Nachshon began to walk in. And he walked in so his toes touched the water, yet nothing happened. He walked in so that his feet were immersed and his ankles were in the water, and nothing happened. Up to his knees and nothing happened, to his waist. And he kept walking in and walking in. Moses' arms were up, nothing happened. Up to his chest, up to his neck, up to his chin, not until the water was over his nose and mouth. Then the sea split. And the rabbis tell us it was because of his faith, his action in this moment, that the C-split, that we were liberated, that we were saved in this moment of crisis. I think that story is compelling for us today, especially that in unknown times that we face in these days, in these challenges, in the world around us, especially in these last 12 days, and the recognition of what has happened and the protests for understanding what racism really is in our country and how systemic it is and implicit it is, that we have to be like Nachshon, that we have to be honest and sincere. We have to demonstrate compassion and empathy. We have to recognize our own shortcomings and our own vulnerabilities and walk into that water. And it might be uncomfortable. Actually, it will be uncomfortable because we'll get there all the way up to our nose. But we have to believe that that water will split and we can get to the other side and create that hope for not just ourselves, but for future generations, so that we truly are able to create a world that is repaired, a world that people can be living together in equality, recognizing that we're all in the image of God and how important that is. So here, this story of why Nachshon brings that offering is really a great lesson for us, not just today, but for every day, and how we want to live our lives for the future. Amen. Amen. And so, as I conclude that, I want to add this prayer that we need for our country right now in advance of our prayer of Mishaberach, because I think we, in feeling this pain and recognizing we need this healing too, our God and God of our ancestors, bless our country and all who dwell within it. Help us to experience blessings of our lives and circumstances, to be vigilant, compassionate, and brave. Strengthen us when we're afraid. Help us channel our anger so it motivates us to action. Help us to feel our fear so we do not become numb. Help us be generous with others so we raise each other up. Help us to be humble in our fear, knowing that as vulnerable as we feel, there are those at greater risk, and that's our holy work to stand with them. And adding to that prayer, so our prayers of healing of Mishaberach, as we think of those in need of strength and healing in our community, friends, and family who we mention at this time. Mishaberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov Imotenu Shar Kalei Rachel, Hu Yivarech et the Holy Merciful God has blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Sarah, Becca, Leah, and Rachel. Send your blessings to our loved ones who are stricken with illness and anxiety. Elisa Yoto and Eugene Blakeman, Joel Bussell, Pat Carey, Karen Kasman, Patty Seresny, Bill Cooperstock, Lisa Dorff, Miriam Farber, Gary Fishman, Paul Fulton, Adele Gaba Band, Joe Gilbert, Howard Goldberg, Paul Goldberg, Sylvia Goldman, Batya, Bapesha Panina, Charles Gross, Andrew Halo, Crystal Halo, Hank Heiser, Harriet Hoffman, Vera Hopkins Gordon, Rebecca Horn, Sarah Jacobson, Michael Kahn, Serafina Coffrin, Rick Hornspan, Yvonne Krasny, Marta Lazar, Henry Leopold, Nina Livieva, Zoe Marcus, Beth Margolin, Florence Mars, Scott Miles, Lori Nosenchuk, Rabbi Robert Nosenchuk, Eric Perez, Leslie Pillings, Miriam Leah, Badanelva Esther, Sarah Pomerantz, Jean Richmond, Alan Rosen, St. Amand family, Ernest Schoen, Amy Selmanoff, Sonia Sklar, Suzanne Zalesnik Smith, Fran Sohn, Chaim Shmuel Ben Noach, Kochav Ben Noach, Sherry Weiner, Loretta Ziegelman, as well as all those battling coronavirus today at home and in the hospital, and 20,095 American troops injured in Iraq and Afghanistan to date, and all those in our hearts as well. Baruch atah Narfel Chulim. Bless for you, God, give strength to those in
May the source of strength bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
And to our prayers of healing, we also add our prayers for the healers. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless all those who put themselves at risk to care for the sick. Physicians and nurses and orderlies, technicians and home health aides, EMTs and pharmacists, hospital social workers, respiratory therapists, and mental health professionals. And bless those who continue to go above and beyond. Those working daily in our grocery stores, those who drive medical supplies to our homes, those delivering necessities to our families, cooking meals for so many, everyone who puts the needs of others above their own, navigating the unfolding dangers of the world each day, tending to those who they have sworn to help. Bless them in their coming home and bless them in their coming out. Ease their fear, sustain them. Source of all breath, healer of all beings, protect them and restore their hope. Strengthen them that they may bring strength. Keep them in health that they may bring health. Help them know again a time when they can breathe without fear. Bless the work of their sacred hands, and may this plague pass from among us speedily and in our days. Amen.
Amen.
Continue with our prayers of adoration as we rise together on page 91 of our prayer books.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, לגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
Nothing can fill the emptiness that a death leaves behind. Those who are no longer a physical presence are still alive within our thoughts and our words. Their memories are only a part of the picture. So long as we recall their presence and their warmth, their friendship, their heart, mind, and thought are still within our soul. We honor and cherish the ones we love. They're living our lives to the fullest. It's time in our prayers, our thoughts turn to those taken from us in this past month, whose shoshim we mark, friends and family of our congregation: Evelyn Soroka, Tim Thomas, Marion Popper, Stephen Shear, Alfred Heller, Murray Hosman, George Cooper, Janet Stein, George Floyd, Sidney Rose, Benjamin Perlman, Arnold Sokol, Rabbi Sissi Koran, Stephen Newman, Laura Roth, as well as those who have passed this year, the Shana, as we continue to mark Laura Roth and Stephen Averbach and Arlene Blumstein. The 2,420 Americans our armed forces lost in Afghanistan and the surrounding areas to date. Linking their names and names whose yard sites we mark on the Shabbat, those anniversary passing we lovingly commemorate: Barry Abrams, Sophie Alekman, Sophia Alexander, Hyman Blackman, David Brodowski, Richard Chadwick, Evelyn Columbus, Larry Curley, Henry Davis, Celia Dorff, Marvin Faber, Dorothy Burstein Friedman, Corinne Garber, Ulick Gertner, David Glazer, Betty Gordon, Betty Guz, Frank Hollander, Sarah Hollander, Seymour Katzer, Seymour Kaufman, Hani Kiff, Steve King, George Colas, Barbara Bank-Lackritz, Adolph Lieb, Martha Lewis, Harvey Lieberman, Edith Linden, Dorothy Page, Leon Panzer, Cy Tarshish, Arnold Tucker, Kate Turner, Rose Weiner, Ann Weinstein, Alec Weissman, Gerald Wahlberg, Robert Allen Wolf, Milton Yolis, Julia Zipser, Jerry Zucker, as well as reminding ourselves on this, the anniversary of D-Day, the soldiers who perished at Normandy as well. And all of those who remain in our hearts, friends and family, we think of at this time, those as well who have no one to stand and say Kaddish for them. So do we together as a community join in the immortal words of the mourners' Kaddish. Yikadal, Yikadash, Shemei Rabbah, Bialma, Divra, Chirite, Bialmich, Malchute, B'chayachon, Uvyomechon, Uchayetecho, Beit Yisrael, B'galal, Bizman, Kariv, Imru. Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah, Mavarach, Le'olam, Ame Amaya, Yit Barach, V'yishtabach, V'yit Pa'ar, V'yit Ramam, V'yit Naseh, V'yit Adar, V'yit Aleh, V'yit Nalal, Shemei Kudisha, B'rechu, Le'lamin Kol Birchata V'shirata, Tush B'chata V'nechamata, Damaram V'yama V'imru. Amen. Yehei Shlomo Rabbah Min Shemaya, V'chaim Aleinu V'yal Kol Yisrael V'imru. Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mamav, Huya Aseh Shalom, Aleinu V'yal Kol Yisrael V'imru. Amen. The source of peace, and peace to all who mourn, comfort to all who are bereaved here and everywhere. And let us all say, Amen.
Oseh Shalom B'mamav, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu V'yal Kol Yisrael V'yal Kol Yoshei Tevein V'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Ve'al Kol Yoshei Tevel Ve'imru Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Cantor, Rabbi, and to all those who have been a part of our services this morning,
Excellent.
and who will continue to watch them as well. A few quick things to announce before our Kiddush, and we go enjoy some sunshine today, God willing, for all of us. So our first, of course, our Monday morning musings continue. New Realities, Ancient Wisdom, each Monday, 9 o'clock, 15 minutes, a quick teaching to get our perspective started, an opportunity to share with one another. And my guest this week will be Rabbi Stephen Moskowitz, my older brother, and we teach together some text and talk about social justice and our need for that in our world. Tuesday begins our second tour, our trip to Israel. We've done 5 weeks already. We got 5 more cities to visit, from the old city in Jerusalem, again, the Jewish quarter, to Hebron. Amazing things we're going to be seeing this week. And next week, so sign up for that so you can get the Zoom link. My class will be on Facebook Live and on YouTube. This class is on Zoom. We want you to be a part of that, so let us know. Trivia night is a Zoom trivia, of course, and so we hope you can join with us for that. The second trivia, oh gosh, we had like 150, 140 screens last time competing. Let's make it even bigger. Woohoo! Prizes for the winning teams, first, second, third places. It should be great. And of course, tonight we end Shabbat at 7:30 with Havdalah from my home, with my son Nathan helping with the music there and sharing as well. And then tomorrow morning is our Sunday morning minyan on Zoom. So good stuff as well. I don't believe there's any Tish questions right now. And so with that in mind, we give thanks for the sweetness of this day, the joy of Shabbat, as we join with Cantor.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen. Chaim.
Time.
Thank you, Brian Fishman behind the scenes and Audrey Bloomberg behind the scenes, helping with our services on these remote opportunities that we can combine together. One day, I think we'll illuminate their screen for Kiddush so they can actually, enjoy that part. We'll have them with the Kiddush cup ready to go. So, my dog is ready for Kiddush now. As we say, Adonai oz emoitain, Adonai yivrech et amo v'shalom. May God give strength to all people, plus all of us here and everywhere with peace.
Amen.
Adonai oz le'emoitain, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Muku's here. I want to say good Shabbos.
Please join us, Rabbi and Asher and Nathan at Havdalah at 7:30.
See you all then. Shabbat shalom, everyone.